Hey, good morning, Patriots. It's a great day. It's sunny. Chris is beautiful, and we're all here together. So, good morning,
Good
Chris.
day, sunshine. There we go.
That's right. He's no Tim Waltz. I'll say that.
Oh no, I can waltz better than walls anyway. Heck, I can not
So,
only
did
can
you
dance the
notice
waltz, I
that?
can play it.
Just to jump right into that, have you noticed that he's a bit to coin a phrase, light in the loafers? Have you noticed that? It's hard to miss.
Well, I guess that explains the frustration of Mrs. W. That's why she likes smelling destruction of her
I
cities
love
late at
I
night.
love the smell
So,
of burning bodegas in the morning.
oh gosh,
Anyway,
disgusting creatures
good
they are.
morning. Good morning, Patriots. It's good to see you all here. Man, we had a heck of a week last week, didn't we? Some great shows.
Hmm.
You guys get your money's worth, don't you? You don't pay a thing.
They they pay in they pay in soul, I guess.
That's
That's
right. No, you guys are great. So, no, look, we appreciate you guys being here. We love the chat. We love you guys having,
yes, we do.
kind of our wacky sense of humor at the forefront. So it's fun.
Yeah, you guys
I
put
hope
up
you
with
all had
us
a
rather nicely.
That's right, that you do. And so, and every day we try to get fired, and Ed somehow keeps us. I don't know how that works, but it does. So there you go.
Well, it's
It all
funny.
works out.
It's funny you mentioned that. I heard a story
Yeah,
from people in the old radio business. Remember the great Bob Grant, the talk show host?
I don't actually know. Tell me
There,
about it.
there was I used to work at another couple of city stations, and there was a story that was told by people who knew it was going on at ABC at the time after Disney bought it, and they brought a
Yeah,
new production director, a program director. They took out John Manelli, brought in this guy, and Bob Grant just didn't like working there anymore. He said, so the program director goes, "All right, Bob, you have to understand we have new employers, so you can't cross the line. If you cross the line, they're going to fire you." He looks at him and says, "Where's the line?" And he just kept doing it. What got him fired, you remember what got him fired, right?
no, I don't. Tell me. No, I didn't. I did not.
Do you remember the Ron Brown plane crash?
I do remember the right. Yes, I do. I wasn't there, but I do remember it. So just saying. Yeah.
I'm listening to that show where Bob Grant is on WABC. He's
Mhm.
talking, and then he hears, "I just got a report that there was a plane crash over California, and I understand that Democrat committee leader, national committee leader Ron Brown was on that plane. Let's hope those rumors are true."
Oh my God, that's bad. Well, he
That's
it was
what got
actually
him.
Bosnia, but
Yeah,
yes,
but that was the whole
it
thing. That
was
was the
true.
it was at the time, though, it was a rumor, so,
Some
no
would
one knew what was
say
going on, right?
some believe, which I do too, that was no accident. That Ron Brown was about to go and say some things publicly that the Democrats weren't going to dig. So a
I
lot of stuff about that event, which people can go back and check out. Not
yeah, I understand that JFK
and
Jr. may have been
he
an
worked for the
accident as
Clintons
well.
too. The
Yes.
Clintons are not. They have retirement plans which have everything to do with you retire and you end up in a mausoleum of some sort. So just saying.
That's right. At least the Bidens know that we can pay for the Ukrainian, pensions, but, as far as the Clintons,
So
they can eliminate
yeah,
the Clintons will tell you they saved taxpayers' money by eliminating pensions of their political enemies. How
so
about
real
that?
briefly, yeah. So real briefly on that, we're going to hit a lot of stuff today. So let's just start with that. I know Chris has got some other stuff teed up, which
What
I'll
do we
get
got?
into in a second. But as of this today, I guess the Republicans have issued their report. The impeachment committee on Joe Biden found that he took bribes and otherwise sullied the office of vice president, as if we didn't know that.
Hmm.
So, but Chris, and this is for the folks to too. It's like, what do you all, Patriots? What do you all think? Is issuing the report that Joe Biden was as corrupt as we know he is. If he is, I mean, this shows that his family was enriched, and explains a lot why he gives great deference to that actor named Vladimir Zelensky. That
Oh,
guy that runs around in the black green T-shirt about this color.
Vladdy boy,
Uh,
yes.
yeah. So, do you all think this is the first question for you all to get into? Yeah, Tim Money says the same thing about Ron Brown. Yes, we all know Ron was about to do something against the Clintons, but let's talk about the Bidens. So, do you all think that it's sufficient for the Republicans to just basically say, "Yeah, he broke the law. When he was vice president, he basically committed impeachable offenses, but they're going to do nothing now." So, what do y'all think about that? Is that the right thing? Does this reinforce the lawlessness that we always talk about, the two-tiered system. And oh, by the way, I guess Chris, I guess he's going to benefit from that immunity, right? Some sort of a immunity to certain offices. I think the vice president is going to enjoy some immunity there, right?
Maybe not. You see, here's the difference between the vice president's document issue, and then the bribery issue is a different story too. But the
Right.
document
Right.
issue, he brought these documents home for personal use to read them to his ghostwriter. That is not under an official vice presidential capacity.
That's true.
Immunity only
That's true.
goes now. Immunity now when Barack Obama sent the drone after a 16-year-old American citizen, sorry, I don't know if he's a teenage American citizen.
Anwar al-Awlaki's son.
That's
Yes.
correct.
I know.
I just like to say teenage American citizen because that's
Well,
what
it's
that's what
true.
he was.
It's true. He was an innocent kid. No
Right.
matter how you feel about kids, he was an innocent kid. Right.
But without immunity, he'd be in jail. He can claim Barack Obama can claim that in Fast and Furious that he did these things under an official capacity, whereas Joe Biden took his bribes and did his business dealings and his 10% for the big guy personal. The stealing of the classified documents,
Chris, I have
all personal.
Right. Was he reading those documents to Ashley Biden in the shower? Is that why he was in there just reading them to her? You think
Well,
that's what happened?
that's because Ashley wasn't
Could
around.
be. Oh,
So
well.
that's why she had the
I was gonna say,
ghostwriter.
I would be if I were him. I'd circle the square on that to get it all together. It's like no. I was not taking a shower with Ashley. I was actually reading classified documents in the shower, just to be isolated. I know it would give a much better cover than no cover at all, so to speak. So
Yeah, and where is this believe all women when it comes to Ashley?
yeah,
Apparently, believe all women except those who accuse prominent Democrats who are running against Trump.
yeah, exactly. So, well, I do believe women like Tara Reid. Tara, talk about somebody coming up and grabbing your,
That's right.
he did that to her, and I have no doubt, based on the details she gave, the time she tried to complain about it. No. You can't complain about a scone. Scone. Can I say that scone? Not scone. Scone
Crone.
of the Democrat Party,
Right.
and that was Joe Biden. So
A ward of the Democrat Party.
I got another question for you and the team here. So,
Okay.
so the folks the Patriots, how does someone like a Biden become a scone, a leader in the Democrat Party? I mean, a guy who eulogized Senator Byrd, a grand cyclops. But by the way, who comes up with these titles for the KKK? A grand cyclops of the KKK. Does that mean you run around with a hood that has like a big eye on it or something? I mean,
That's right. He's only got one eye. See, what happens is these guys in their rituals, they poke their eye out. They poke their left eye out, so they become a cyclops. That's why they're the grand cyclops. If they're too afraid to do that, they only get to be a grand wizard. Because the wizards have two eyes.
not a
Cyclops have
pinball
one.
wizard.
Right.
A grand wizard, not a pinball wizard.
Pinball wizard has both eyes. The pinball wizard is blind, isn't he?
He is blind, so
That's
you
right.
can't be a cyclops. You're like a no clops.
A no. No clops. Heyo, you got a heyo for that one. Oh, this is great.
Oh, that's great. Well, it's a Monday morning. We got to get everybody going. I hope they got their coffee this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, blind and cognitive dissonance. That's right. Yes.
Unlike
yes,
Brenda
Trixie.
Spencer and the Boomtown Rats, I like Mondays.
Good for you. I had a hard time getting up this morning. I went to bed early last night. It was before midnight. For
Really?
goodness sake. Oh, I was exhausted of the weekend. I'll talk more about what I did yesterday here in a bit when Angie gets on.
And you're allowed to, right?
Nothing bad. It was just we were well. Everything I do has an element of surprise to it. Just saying, but in this case, the element's not nefarious or anything. It was just I'll let you know. I was over with Fran and oh my God.
Yeah, I
was
figured
over
that's
with
your morning
Fran.
wake up picture right there.
Yeah, I was over with Fran and Diane Ventura, and I'll talk about that when Diane gets on because we're all we're all real friends. Anyway,
Good.
so there he is. There's Upchuck Tim, who well, it's interesting. I think the one common feature of both Kamala, how do you pronounce that? Is it Carmela?
I'm going to
Like
say
Carmela by the Sea? Can you say Carmela by the Sea? Is that
I'm pulling a Nancy Mason saying we can pronounce it however we want. And I'm going to say it because people pronounce my last name Cordini, Cordani, Cordono, or
yeah,
whatever
they do
else.
the same with
I
my name.
don't care.
Schaffer. It's not Schaefer.
Hey,
Schaffer. No,
right.
that's
If
not
you
it.
gave it a
Schaefer.
shot, you're fine. Okay, that's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I think the one common denominator between both of them, I think they both have I think they have a secret addiction to licking windows from riding the short yellow school buses as kids. I think they both want to. Oh, it tastes like paste. That's good
Well, it's,
paste.
it's after they pick their noses and
So,
spread it on the window.
well, that's true. But did you see pictures of Carmela by the sea yesterday when she was in her clown shoes and big old Don Johnson jacket? She had this jacket. It looked like it was from the 1986. It was like the size of
Oh yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
linebackers.
It's the
Oh
it's
my
the
God.
it's the Chucks and Pearls thing again, isn't it?
I don't know, but I'm just telling you that the two of them together, and we'll talk this more with Angie. She was going on a bus tour, and I'm using air quotes here because like they flew her, like yeah, you flew into a local location, and because they actually had her, Chris, this is great,
Right.
a bus tour. She's at Andrews Air Force Base, getting on Air Force Two to fly to Pennsylvania, so she could have a Pennsylvania bus tour. So she gets off the plane. They literally have, and it's on video. It's on my Twitter feed. People can go check it out.
Right.
They have literally a convoy of white vans full of actors. This is
Okay.
how desperate they are. They literally go check it out. It's on my Twitter feed. They literally wherever they went had vans full of actors, paid actors. So they would go into a place like a Sheetz or like a sandwich place, literally ask everybody to leave who's a real citizen, and then put the actors in there so they can control it. This is literally Orwellian control of a narrative. I mean, can you imagine that they are that desperate that they literally, this thing, it was a quarter mile long of white vans full of actors.
Well, I pulled up. But that's what they have to do. They have to make it look like they're
Yeah,
as big as Donald Trump, or else nobody's going to bother. People are going to stay home. This is about the downvote more than anything else.
exactly. This is all about, as Sean said, for those if you didn't catch the show on Wednesday, it was a hot show, right, Chris?
It was so hot. I guess
Sean Parnell.
I'm going down your Twitter feed, and this is what
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Tony. Is this what you wanted me to see?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's that's Tinkerbell Tim. I think he saw Peter Pan. It's like, man, Tinkerbell. I like that. I want to be Tinkerbell. Some of us see movies and we're inspired. He saw Peter Pan and he became the man he is.
Oh, here's something I have for you. Here's do you want the new Kamala Harris hope poster? The idiot who did the hope for Barack Obama did this for Kamala Harris.
I saw that. Yes.
But
By the way,
forward is a
she,
Soviet Union
of course,
slogan and Maoist
no,
slogan.
it is, and Hillary Clinton's used it, and a bunch of other folks have used
And
it.
so has Obama.
And so let me ask you, Chris, and the team in the chat, is she white now? Because she looks pretty white in that picture. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, she wants to. I don't know.
or is that a blue? Is that like in Star Trek? Or no, she's green in Star Trek. What? Oh, the Fifth Element. She's like that blue singing creature in the Fifth Element.
I remember that.
Gets shot.
Or is she that green one from? Remember the Lost in Space? There was that green alien.
Oh yeah.
Was after Dr. Smith.
Dr. Smith. Yeah, I saw that.
Dr. Smith. That one. That's Kamala Harris.
Well, that's what she wants you to believe. But back, I was trying to make a point, and you distracted me again. But
I do this all the time.
I was back. Well, no, I was talking about Pennsylvania and their fakery. But Tim Walz, was in that store with her in a Sheetz, tried to hand her Doritos after Dougie, what's his name? The guy that pretends to be her husband. I'm betting now that he Doug whatever Niedermeyer. Do you remember Niedermeyer?
From Animal
Is that a pledge pin on your uniform?
Animal House. That was a great movie. I'm going to go back to your Rose picture again.
There he is. So, by the way, I think Tim wants to be a Broadway dancer. I think that's his secret desire. I think since we all know he probably plays for both teams, well, badly for both teams, but I think that's what he wants. I think he wants to be. He wants to do a naked version of Swan Lake on Broadway. Don't you think? I think that would be. Oh, there's Niedermeyer.
There is Niedermeyer. There we go.
There's Niedermeyer.
Pledge pin. What do you want to do with your life? That was the video.
Oh, that's a oh my God, what a great movie. Anyway, my point, Doug Niehoff or whatever his name is,
Imhoff, right?
was in a Sheets with Tampon Timmy, and they were pretending to look for Doritos. Ooh, we're looking for Doritos. Like,
they should have
who
asked.
cares? Who freaking cares?
They should have asked Ms. Cheadle, Kimberly Cheadle, because she's back to guarding Doritos, isn't she?
They could do a special Cheetle flavor of Cheetos. The Cheetle flavor Cheetos. That's a tongue twister too.
MIA Cheetos, I suppose, right?
All right, so let's bring in Angie. Angie, I
think we surprised
there she is.
Hi.
Hey, Angie
Hi,
Wong. Good morning, Angie. Welcome to Wake Up Patriots. And you're
Oh man, I need to be awake. I need to be awake for your show. Wake me up. You know, I left my coffee in my kitchen. I'm like, but you know what? I'm sure you guys will make up for it because there's going to be. It's never sleepy with you guys.
No. We get paid to do stream of consciousness, and it's kind of fun, right, Chris? I mean, it's
That's
like wherever,
so cool.
wherever we go, it's like it just go off into the atmosphere. Well, welcome to Patriots. We're happy to see you.
Morning shows.
Yeah, they're all saying hi to you.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Hey, wait, look, you guys have the best audience ever. I mean, they're they write to you like every day.
They do.
They're following. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we love them and they love us, and not in the Tim Waltz kind of man love. I'm just saying. Not
Poor
that
Tim
one.
Waltz.
No. But Angie, so I got a lot. I had dinner last night with the vendors. Well, let's get right into that. So last night at dinner, I was given over my little my first.
Oh, that's terrific.
Grand Marshal.
Nice.
The Veterans Parade. It's very nice. I got to find a spot on my wall. My I love me wall. So, but that was very nice of them. And Angie, as you know, Angie was the master of ceremonies for that.
That's right.
So, and we're going to be reprising our roles, sort of. I mean, we got a new Grand Marshal, Scotty Hastings, right? Scotty's going to be the Grand Marshal, and but you know, Angie will be there in some form.
How are you going to be passing the baton? How are you going to be passing the torch, Tony?
Well, I don't know. We haven't really got that far with it yet, but we do know we're going to do something about. Hold on a second. I think
what Tony should do is throw out the first pitch. There we go.
I've wanted to get my coffee cup of goodness.
All the swag. I didn't get any swag.
You don't get it. They got it for you.
You have to make a demand now. There we go.
I'll have to make my own cup.
So you want the swag, or else you're switching parties.
No. I've got plenty of swag. I don't have I don't have enough room in my cupboard for all the coffee cups and the t-shirts.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I love the Venturas, but like, really, is coffee cup? Give me like an anniversary M11 or something from Sig. You know, that's what I want.
You know, I do have an idea, Tony. Why don't you throw out the first pitch to the new Grand Marshal? He can catch it, and it'll be that mug. You can throw the mug over as the first pitch, and that's how you pass the baton.
Yeah, we're not going to play the catcher thing like Tim does with his team.
Just don't throw like Barack Obama and bounce it to the catcher. Ooh.
Oh, the thing with Barack, you know, with the weights. You know,
oh boy.
You think Kamala Harris could throw a better first pitch than Barack Obama did?
Oh, no doubt.
Oh,
I mean, did you see her with her shoulder pads, her white shoulders? I mean, she could have played linebacker for the Jets for like a season. She
has worn the only horrible thing about the 1980s. The shoulder pads. I could
speak for yourself, Chris. Oh, come on. Now you're getting into an area that I loved the idea that guys could actually wear big shoulders back in those days. Don Johnson, I love Don Johnson and the Miami Vice look. I actually still got that look, by the way. I just can't wear it.
But we didn't need shoulder pads back then. That's the whole thing. We didn't need shoulder pads back then.
Armani jackets, Armani suits with T-shirts and boat shoes. It was like the ultimate. Yeah, it was great. I love it.
We should do a Miami Vice show. We should all dress up as our favorite character.
Angie, I'm for that. No,
I think we're done. I think let's do that in September. We're going to do an 8. Yep, we'll do that.
No, I've got actually an outfit, Angie. I'm not joking. I have an Armani jacket, like the short jacket, with the tan linen pants from 1989 when I was undercover.
Nice.
Yeah, big time. And I can still wear it. I still fit into it. Think about that. I can still wear.
I still have my
clothes
thin
from the
ties.
80s.
I got my thin ties.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I don't.
I don't
We don't.
believe
But
you
anyway,
guys. I don't
No.
believe any of this until I
no, we should
see it
do it.
with my own eyes.
We'll do it. We'll do
No.
it. Put it on the calendar, Chris. We're going to do a Miami Vice show. We'll have some folks
With
come in
Angie. With Angie.
from that
We
era.
should
Yeah,
just-
with Angie, we'll have some folks come in from that era.
We'll do
I've
the
got friends
70s,
from
by
that
the way.
time.
Yeah.
I can't
we also
remember
have
the female characters from that show. I can't
Trixie
remember one.
and Booty, Trudy.
But weren't they
Trudy.
cops?
Yeah, Trudy was Trudy,
Mm-hmm.
and there were two of them. Trudy was the black character,
Uh-huh.
and then they had the Latina character that Don Johnson actually did sleep with at least once. But I digress. But no, it was. I miss the 80s. The 80s were wonderful. Anyway,
They're always
but
coming
we
back.
will plan it. But more importantly, speaking of Florida, how is your race going for office?
Woo! Yeah, I'm running for executive committee woman, and
Yes.
it's going pretty well. I don't know. It's my first time running ever.
Oh my
I'm
God.
exhausted. We've been putting up yard signs and billboards and everything up
Yeah.
all weekend. And of course, Democrats are tearing them down, and
Mm.
it's
Really? Ah,
Yeah. It's amazing they're so petty like that.
Yeah,
That
well,
is-
that's how it goes with those guys. So I have to keep replenishing. Look, this is a tiny race, Tony. Nothing like the race that you're running. This is a very, very small district race.
Don't remind people because they're going to get on my ass, which they already. Anyway, I got to get I'm going to get my signs today. I promise for those
Good.
watching.
Knock on those doors,
complaining.
Tony. Come on.
I
You
am
gotta knock on
going.
doors and
I am
everything.
going. I am physically going to go over and order my signs. Just saying.
Order them? You haven't ordered them yet, Tony? Can I just be a campaign manager? Are you
No,
serious?
I need I don't have a campaign manager.
do
It's
you
just
not
me.
You
have
should
a
have
I gotta
hired
do
me. There we
everything.
go. I
gotta
would have
do
had them done
everything.
yesterday.
Anyway,
All
I
right.
am going over to get them today. Anyway, back to you. So why are they doing this? Because to me, that's all. As Chris said, it's just childish. Like, what is wrong with you people?
Oh, well, they say never to talk about your opponent. So I'm not going to talk about my opponent. But yeah, that's exactly what they do. And it's petty. This is what happens with really, I'm sorry to say, but with very, very local races. You get the high school tactics, right?
Right.
You get
Yeah.
like it's fine. It is what it is. It's a local race. I'm having a great time running. I've heard from a lot of congressional members as well as people running for Congress in Florida. We wished each other best of luck over the weekend. That's real sportsmanship. That's how Republicans are going to have a victory overall. This is a team sport, you guys. This is not some individual race. This is not some egomaniac, spending thousands of dollars on a campaign. This is a team sport. And that's why Florida is pretty strong right now. I know North Carolina, you're certainly getting that way with Lori Buckhow and
Oh, Lori's
all
doing
these
well.
races
Yeah,
happening.
I just her campaign called me a few days ago. I guess she's got a new campaign manager. I don't want to go down that path, but she's doing well.
Oh, she's doing
And,
great.
Yeah, she's doing very well. And then
That's good.
her signs are everywhere. She's out and about. She's actually doing the retail politics work that needs to be done. So it's good. But more importantly, regarding your race and what's going on, do you feel that the trend overall is going to go Trump's way? I don't think I think where you're at, it's inevitable. It seems like everybody loves Trump in Florida now.
Yeah, I mean, this is Trump country for sure. I think anyone who's aligned with Trump here is going to benefit. I mean, my race is just happening during tomorrow's election day. And
Oh,
that's
wow. Good
also,
luck. Good
yeah,
luck.
and that's also primary day. There are other races, the bigger races that are happening that's going to carry forward to November 5th. And that's where I think Trump's influence will really, really come down because, I ran a little tiny race in New Jersey back in 2019, 2020. And just because this guy's name was under Trump's, a little known guy, candidate, no one knew who he was, he got 40% of the vote because
Wow.
people came out
Yeah.
to vote for Trump. And that was the problem with Joe Biden. People were not excited to come out for Joe Biden. That's why they had to remove him from the ballot because the down ballot candidates would have all suffered if he remained on the ballot. Nobody would have come out. Everyone here in Florida, they can't wait to vote for Trump. They're like, it's almost like panic voting. It's like, we gotta go, right?
Right.
And it's hysterical. They're like,
Well-
it's like waiting for a Trump rally. They can't wait for the polling doors to open. It's great.
Well, that's why I think I know Mark Robinson here in North Carolina. We talked about him with the Venturas last night, and they're worried. It's like, there's people here who don't like him, I think, but with Trump at the top of the ticket, I think Robinson's going to be okay because I think so many people want to vote. And to be honest, that's why I'm kind of like I'm not sloughing my campaign off. It's like, but I am a Republican, and Trump and I are friends, so I'm not. I'm okay. I may not be able to get to all the places I want to get to here in the district, and I will do my best. Not that I'm saying I'm not.
We're gonna help you, Tony.
We've
Get
been,
me over there.
Anyway, we'll get through this. We'll still do well. Anyway, my point being is that I think people need to recognize that that's why they dumped Joe Biden, because Nancy Pelosi went to Joe and it's like, dude, you're gonna kill us at the local level. But I don't think the change to Kamala is going to help him recover the down ballot. What do you think?
What do I think? That's a long question. Essentially,
I know it is. That's why I ask it to you.
I think Joe Biden coming off the ticket was probably the best thing the Democrats have done. Whether or not Kamala Harris can fake it till you make it all the way to November 5th, I'm not entirely sure. Right now, we're seeing the pageantry, we're seeing the bot polls, we're seeing the bot media, we're seeing all of that smoke and mirror showing. I don't know how dumb they think the American voters are, but Democrats can be kind of dumb, I gotta say. So,
Understatement of the day.
they just have to fake it for another 80 something days, right? Before they can kind of get in there. I'm worried, Tony. Here's where I'm really, really worried. All right. I'm worried that September 18th is going to be a very big day for Trump. And he may be sentenced. I think he is scheduled
I've seen
to be
that. I've
sentenced.
seen Byron York and others, and they've all been talking about
What
that.
do you think is going to happen there? I'm nervous for that because that is the September surprise. Although it's no surprise to anybody.
Yeah, I don't think they know what they're going to do. I think this is going to be down to what the polls look like a week out. And don't mark my words, that judge is completely subordinated to the Democrat Party. He will do whatever the Democrats tell him to do. And so if they think that putting Trump in prison will somehow help, they'll do it. If they think that somehow that there'll be too many questions asked or he'll be able to do some things to damage they'll do that. And I don't think they know until then. I think right now all they're doing is focusing on the RNC, the Democrat National, the DNC's convention in Chicago, which I want to talk about in a second.
Here are a couple things, Angie and Tony. One is the rumors, as you probably have heard, that Rikers is getting ready for Donald Trump at this point. This is from the New York Times, but the rumors going around that Rikers is getting ready for a Trump visit, if you will. However, keep in mind, putting Trump in jail would have been devastating for the Biden campaign. Now, the question is, would it be devastating or advantageous to the Harris campaign?
Yeah.
If it's advantageous, throw him in. If it's going to make Trump a martyr, which it still might, because here's the problem. Biden's press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, has taken over the last 3 weeks to no longer calling the administration the Biden administration or this administration. She goes out of her way to call the administration the Biden-Harris administration. So if you think about it, the Biden-Harris administration was what caused inflation, as you heard the exchange with Ducey last week. The Biden-Harris administration is is committing the lawfare against Donald Trump now. So that could be the disadvantage. The big October surprise you worry about I'd like to see the peace deal done, but I think there's going to be something about this peace deal being held to October, the ceasefire deal being held to October.
No. Let me hit that real quick because I know what's going on that. So Angie, and I think I want to get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
So you've seen over the past 5 days, oh my God, we're almost there. We're just waiting for the Israelis. It's all fiction. Yeah, it doesn't exist. I said this on the network over the weekend at least twice. There's no deal. You've got Qatar, you've got Egypt, and you got America showing up and negotiating. Literally, Tony Blinken is There's no Hamas. The Israelis aren't even showing up anymore. It's like, we'll show up and just hang out in the lobby. No, I'm saying they are. Well, I think there's probably some cool stuff in the lobby. That's why they don't go in. But my point is that Tony Blinken is acting politically to try to create the conditions of belief that they're close to a deal for the purposes of trying to stop the inevitable riots at Chicago. That's why he's doing it. There is no deal. And Chris, there's not going to be a deal in October either. There is no deal. This is all about again, remember, this is my one point of guidance for everybody. everything about the Biden-Harris administration is an illusion. Everything.
Fair.
They never
That's
tell
fair.
the truth. So right now, as we speak, Angie, and I want to get your opinion on this. Oh my God, we're getting the pins ready to sign the agreement. There's no agreement. This is all about trying to create some sort of a counter to what we know is going to be massive protests in Chicago. What do you think?
Ooh, well, if they wanted to stop something, they would have stopped it already. You have 200 pro-Palestinian groups right now in Chicago, right? At the DNC, ready to cause trouble. We're going to see, we're going to see that city burn over the next week.
Order of magnitude worse than 1968.
But
my forecast.
Remember, a lot of them are just crybabies, right? And maybe they want that perception. I don't know, Tony. I think that at this point, Kamala knows what's up. She knows that she needs that base to win. She may offer them anything they want at this point, right? Maybe it's not a peace deal, but they're going to get something to quiet down and bring her in to the White House, because that's how desperate she is to get in there.
Yeah, and I think that's why she dumps her press pool, which Peter Ducey pointed out the other day. It's like she's going to places with her pool because she's going into these rooms and making agreements like that, I believe.
Right.
And, so do you guys know, Andrew, do you want to know how I know there's not going to be any peace agreement this week? So,
well, you would need Bibi Netanyahu to join in on that.
No, I have something better. So
okay.
I was leaked by my inside Pentagon source. There, Chris has already seen this. Don't say anything, Chris. The Pentagon, my Pentagon inside source, at great risk to his personal body, actually leaked me a copy of the current artificial intelligence which governs the Pentagon's thinking. So it was very dangerous. He got it out, but here it is. It's the Pentagon Decision 8 ball. And so see right here, it just came up. I said, is a agreement likely? It's like, no, unlikely. It says right there. So this is the Pentagon's. This is what Lloyd Austin uses. And so if it's good enough for Lloyd Austin, it's good enough for me, right? There you go. So let's see.
I have a lot of questions for that thing.
That's right. So will Kamala actually use Tim Walz as a I don't know, a test dummy? Yes. Says yes. So
Tony, how do you feel about Walz? I mean, he's got to be a complete joke. Is this just payback for Minnesota? Is this a payback for George Floyd and the whole mess that happened in 2020? Is this seriously? Is she just like paying back?
He's the fall guy. He's the only guy who's willing to do it.
Now that you brought up Tim, let me finish, because this is going to roll right into Tim, so to speak, because also my friend, my source at the Pentagon, who leaked me the Pentagon AI, got a copy of the White House AI, the Jake Sullivan AI. Did you know that? And it's a pickle. So it's the Jake Sullivan decision pickle. Let's see what it says.
Within the pickled cosmos, positivities thrive.
There you go. That's Jake Sullivan's complete spiel.
I love it.
So there you go. This is how Jake Sullivan makes decisions. Just saying. And speaking of pickles and Tim Walz, not that they're related, but they are. So when you look at Tim Walz, he is the ultimate combination of incompetence and total compliance with Maoist thinking. He is. I mean,
look at that face.
He is a Maoist.
That face, man. Who?
It looks like he's been in the barn with horses all night, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He did.
He just woke up from drinking a bottle of whiskey. This guy needs breakfast.
Oh, Wilbur. Oh, remember that, Mr. Ed? Oh, Wilbur.
Boy.
I could say some things.
I mean,
would get us fired.
This is like a loser ticket, man. I'm sorry. Like, how?
No, they're moving forward, Angie. It's forward.
Oh, no. That's Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang used forward.
The problem is he did it in a different context. When the left here has been using forward as their basically, I will say, as their march towards socialism. The socialist party, world socialist parties have been using this term forward. The Soviet Union used the term forward. The socialists all over Europe have been using this term. The idea is that as the Democrats like to call it, it's a dog whistle. For other people, moving forward's a good thing. But for the socialists that they're really speaking to, forward into the next Venezuela, which, by the way, she's proposing with those price limits she's talking about, price controls of food and
Oh, yeah.
supplies.
Oh
Uh,
my
Doesn't
goodness.
she realize that helped ruin Venezuela?
No, no. In fact, she wants it to be Venezuela. I mean,
I
look,
think so.
I mean, that's really what she's going for, but she's going to, use her word salad to, trick you into voting for her. I'm worried, you guys. I'm really worried because the polling, and I know a lot of it is bought, it's showing her up there with Trump. I don't know.
I don't believe
I
it.
don't know if I believe my own eyes on this, but
No,
it
so what we had Sean Parnell on last week, and he talked a little bit about this. So what they're doing right now is what we call in the intelligence business, intelligence preparation of the battle space, Angie. What they're doing is, to your point, they're spending a lot of money on the appearance of enthusiasm. I mentioned before you came on, they were up doing the thing in Pennsylvania. They had literally, a quarter mile of vans full of actors to go into facilities and sandwich shops to make it look like everybody's enthusiastic, because the response would be like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And they don't want that.
Hmm.
So they're trying to artificially prop that up. I think Katzenberg is one of the Hollywood guys, is actually orchestrating all that, which he's a Hollywood producer. So yeah,
well,
smells like a duck.
do you know who produces the DNC convention? Steven Spielberg, who works
There
with
you go.
Katzenberg at
Exactly.
DreamWorks. They're producing this, guys.
Yes.
All of this is
Yeah.
a Hollywood script. And you're
Exactly.
right, Tony, because ultimately they just need to make it appear plausible that she can win in November.
Yes.
Then the DNC
Exactly.
machine does the rest for them, right?
Right. Yes.
That works.
It's
That
a,
works.
it's a,
Oh, gosh.
it's very Soviet. It's a Soviet way of doing it. Anyway, to continue the next point, then, to all these polls, they want to demoralize our base and say, "Oh, there's no reason to show up." My friend Larry O'Connor was talking about this on his show about don't be black pilled. This is all just trying to. It's a psyop. It's a psychological operation. But more importantly, I think they are so stupid. She and the other guy are so stupid they can't do it. Let's run the tape here, because man, oh man, if you think Joe Biden was funny with his gaffes, I can't even explain this one. Go ahead, Chris.
And this is good. And by the way, she, like you said, Angie and Tony, just a moment ago, she can get away with this because she has the media machine behind her. But
Yeah.
listen to the whole thing too.
When I am elected president, I will make it a top priority to
Top
bring
priority.
down costs and
Bring down.
increase economic security for all.
Sure.
Quick note there. She always sounds like she's about to cry, doesn't she?
Well,
Americans.
Speaking as a recovering alcoholic, she's always drunk. So just saying, I think.
She doesn't hold it as well as Nancy does.
No.
As
no.
president, I will take on the high costs that matter most to most Americans, like the cost of food. We all know that prices went up during
Wait. We all know. That's Street Kamala again. Street Kamala is back.
This is like a Saturday Night Live skit.
It is.
Is
It
that
really
Maya
is.
Rudolph really doing this?
She's
pandemic.
unbelievable. Absolutely
when the
unbelievable.
supply chains shut down and failed. But our supply chains have now improved,
It happens.
and prices are still too high. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic.
There you
During-
go. No, so what she's
During
saying
Trump's
is,
administration. Yeah.
what she's saying is, our inflationary policies stink. So vote
Yes.
for me.
Translation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, here comes the best part.
Yeah.
Ground beef is up almost 50%.
You go, girl.
And I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food.
Price gauging.
Yeah, that means you can't do
Huh?
comparison shopping. Comparison
Price
shopping will be
gauging.
illegal under the Harris
Gauging.
administration.
Mm.
Gauging. Well, at least she didn't say gagging, which would have been really bad for the campaign. Just saying.
Oh, well, she can't really ban
Just
that
saying.
anyway.
It's like, well,
I
at
didn't
least
think
she
she
didn't
got
say
where
that.
she was.
Whew.
Yeah, that was hard to watch. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I hear her speaking, like I go full anxiety. Like I have to pace around the room because you're right. She has this uncertainty, this crack in her voice that
Oh,
makes
yeah.
me so nervous. Imagine having to do 4 years of that, listening to that. Like, what is that?
There's a movie that you should watch, Angie, which was prescient about her coming. It's called High Anxiety by Mel
Ooh, good one.
Brooks. Yeah.
That's nice.
High
Watch that. I didn't see it.
anxiety, you win. It's a great song too.
Yeah, it was. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I don't know if I can do that, guys. I mean, she's worse than, I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys like Bush Jr., Bush W, but
No,
he also gave
no.
me a little bit of anxiety with his eyebrow. Like it always made me uncertain when he was talking. You got to give an air of arrogance, an air of assurance of
There it is.
something.
High Anxiety. That's a
Oh
great movie.
gosh, I'm
You
already
got to
like,
you got to see it. It's all about Kamala's campaign.
"Eesh."
But it does seem like she's scared to speak in public, and this explains why. This, to me, explains why she played a little bit of semantics last week when it came to Trump's challenges to 3 debates. She said, "Well, if he shows up for the 10th, I'm paraphrasing, but we'll do the 10th if he shows up," trying making it still look like she's the chicken and he's the chicken. But she said, "And then we'll talk about doing other debates after," knowing full
yeah.
well that the proposed debate for Fox was before August 10th. Oh, sorry, September. Excuse me, September 10th. So she played around with that. Nobody questioned her in the press pool, by the way. But
Yeah.
she's
I know.
afraid to debate on
They're not
Fox
gonna.
because she won't be treated with kid gloves there.
No,
Yeah.
of course not. So, well, but I want to bring in another point that she picked Walls to be like. Remember that movie Dumb and Dumber? She had to have someone who's dumber. So that's the Tim.
That's what Biden did.
Yeah. So, well, we're now. It's like this is like one of those nesting dolls where each time you open up one of the dolls, it gets stupider. So it's like
Yeah.
Well, think about
like-
this.
so.
Oh, here's
Or a
the problem.
Putin doll, if you want
Well-
to talk about the Democrats. Just
Well,
saying.
Kamala Harris is the reason. I believe everybody knows this. She's the reason why Joe Biden was never 25th Amendmented. She is the only reason Joe Biden
was
was
the
propped up
fail-safe.
for
That's
last
true.
couple of years.
That's true.
That's it. After this, she could be 25th Amendmented and they bring walls in. That's what I
Well,
believe could
But
happen.
that's where I want to go with
No.
this. I want to bring with this. So
I'm
Angie, that's
playing
what I
around
want to
here,
ask
but
you
who
about.
knows?
So you are a great supporter of the concepts of the founding fathers and the Constitution and everything. I've argued that American exceptionalism is not about us being better. It's that anybody can come here and to be American and be exceptional. That's American exceptionalism. And that's like Musk. Musk is he's an immigrant. And has anybody checked his papers lately, by the way? Just saying. I don't know about that. Anyway, I'm sure he's fine. But check Prince Harry's papers. That guy, send him back. And can we export Meghan Markle somewhere? I mean,
We
man,
could
oh man,
trade-
it's like
She tried to be a Canadian. Do you remember that
I
when
know,
they first
well,
got here? They
Yeah,
didn't even
even-
go on
they
U.S. soil.
they should let him
Even
go.
they didn't want her. That's the thing.
man.
Nobody wants. We could trade her to the
Anyway.
Canadians. We'll trade her to the Canadians for
Well,
Gretzky. We'll take Gretzky. You
Enough
guys can
talking
take,
about other stupid
yeah.
people. Let me get back to Tim Walz. Anyway, so Tim goes on TV, and he was on MSNBC, and he says, I'm going to quote here: "None of my hillbilly cousins went to Yale or went on to become venture capitalists. That's not who people really are." So let's break that down.
Yeah.
First off, he's from Nebraska. How did he have cousins who were hillbillies? That's the first line. It's like that dog, like, huh? Secondly,
Yeah.
like, why would anyone demean someone who was a hillbilly, got up the gumption, resources, and figured out a path to become a graduate of Yale? How would you be critical of that? And then someone who goes on then to be to go to Silicon Valley. Why? Oh, could it be he's a Maoist or Soviet? I mean, why
No,
would you-
he's just
why would you-
jealous. He's jealous and envious. Look, I mean, he doesn't have those credentials. He doesn't even have like proper military credentials for what he's,
No.
going for.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit
Right.
that.
I want you to hit that because I've been watching you talk about that with the
Yeah.
stolen dollar, and I just don't understand how they can just think that they can just push on through a couple more medals for him, and
I
no
don't
one's
think
going
they
to question
can.
it.
I don't think they can. I think that's why it's one of the things they're doing with their basement strategy or the avoiding, because now there's ample evidence by former members of his unit, actual documentation provided publicly by the Minnesota Guard, and his own comments or the own kind of walk. Oh, he misspoke. Angie, how do you misspeak for 20 years? Is that possible even? I mean,
Plenty
you know what?
of narcissists do.
I've done it.
I mean, so let's break down the facts as they are, not what they want them to be. First off, he put in 24 years. That's fair enough. He was separated. He did not retire at the end of 24 years. He actually had 2 years left on his contract. which he went around his leadership, and this has been documented, run around his leadership to avoid talking to them. He went to a friend above so he could get out 2 years early. And the reason he got out 2 years early is because he didn't want to go to Iraq, period. And then what he tried to do is say that I'm a sergeant major, although it shows paperwork wise that he was demoted back down to master sergeant the day before he left the Minnesota Guard. So that's fact. So first off, he was never a command sergeant major. He wore the rank temporarily for a provisional basis because he had to do 2 years of school to complete and be awarded that permanently. This is kind of like, yeah, dude, you can kind of wear the rank temporarily until you get it. You have to do all the work. He didn't do the work, but he wanted the credit and the glory that would have come with doing the work. So that's the first thing. Secondly, he does this. He talks about a ramp ceremony. That's disrespectful. What happens is when we have someone who's killed in combat, we have a dignified transfer. It's not a ramp ceremony. It's like somebody goes up and says, "Oh, that's a cool ramp." No, you actually have to have and for those who read Dark Heart, I had to organize one of these for two CIA members who fell in Afghanistan who were killed in combat, and nobody was there. By the way, nobody was there from CIA to handle them since I had to handle their KIA. Just saying. Anyway, we had to organize one of those for the folks who did that, and Walsh had the cojones. Well, he had something down there. I don't know what it is. To say that he attended a dignified transfer, he called it a ramp ceremony, in the middle of the night in Bagram. No, I had to organize one for two CIA guys, and so he lied about that. So everything he's talked about regarding his credibility, he seeks regarding being a really rough and ready sergeant major, it's all a lie. It's all a complete lie, and he is literally, again, Tinkerbell energy all the way. So.
Does he not need the military vote? Are they just know they're not going to get the military vote, right?
No, I think no. I think, again, like the Bergdahl thing and everything else the left does, they misinterpreted how big this is. They didn't think it was a big deal. It's like,
Interesting.
It's the Vindman wing of the military.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking for. But Angie, as you know, and Tony knows this already, as you know, or you may have heard, they're working on a movie based on Tim Walz's war exploits. And here it is. Full Dinner Jacket.
Oh, PG-9?
PG-9 because you can this is mandatory to be placed or at least shown in boys' bathrooms at public schools from 4th grade onward. That's why it's PG-9 instead of PG-13.
Oh,
it's right next to tampon machines.
And they do things with Jell-O in this movie you would not believe. Just saying, we don't want to get into.
I can't wait for the vice president debate. I think that's going to be way more fun. I mean, look, we know Kamala is not going to be able to stand up to Trump. We know that's going to be a beat down. That's not even a street fight. That's like, I mean, I think Trump's actually going to be nice in that one.
He has to be because he'll be nicer. He can't do a Lazio. I want to take you back to 2000, the Senate race in New York State, where Rudy Giuliani had to step down. Rick Lazio, a somewhat fairly well-known guy out of Long Island, faced off with Hillary Clinton for a senator. He tried to make her sign some sort of agreement. I forgot what it was, but he pounded his finger on the podium, and it looked like he was bullying a woman. Trump has to make sure he does not yell over this woman or try to say anything because she'll do that "I'm speaking" thing and it'll look like he's a bully, and that's going to turn off.
I don't know. He could probably turn it around. It's like, yeah, you're speaking badly.
That he can say, but that's not picking on her. But if he doesn't yell over her, that's fine. But he's got to resist that urge to yell over her.
Speaking of urges, I got to talk about Paul Stone, and you should have an urge to call Paul and his folks at Colonial Metals. Colonial Metals has a solution for you. Yeah, no matter what happens, we're going to have some hard economic times. So you've got good hard times or bad hard times. You got hard times coming no matter what, because no matter how you cut it, we're going to have challenges to recover the economy. So that's where Paul comes in and his team at Colonial Metals Group. Check them out. Check him out. You can see on the banner right there at Colonial Metals, colonialmetalsgroup.com/ed-henry/ or call them at 800-805-4034. You need to be prepared. We all need to be prepared. I've got metals in my portfolio. I have things that I keep that are physical. That's what you need. No matter what happens, the economy is going to have challenges. Now, if Kamala Mala Wanna Ding Dong wins, we're going to have issues relating to things getting worse because she's already said she's going to put price controls in, and we're literally going to have bread lines. So you don't want that. You want to be prepared. If Trump rolls in, which we all obviously hope for, there's no secret there. We're going to have some time. It's going to take about 2 to 3 years to get everything rolling back the way it was. There was immense damage done for the past 3 years. So the way you can overcome the damage is by creating your own hardened and literally hardened because it's metal package of economic protection. And that starts with Paul Stone and his team at Colonial Metals Group. colonialmetalsgroup.com/Ed-Henry/ or 800-805-4034. Anyway, back to the show. So one of the things I wanted to cover before you go, Angie, is the issues relating to how this is all going to play out in the swing states. Because right now, as Chris pointed out earlier, we're seeing all these, and you mentioned it too, all these fake polls. Certain states are going to go hard either side. But I don't believe for a minute, based on the economic conditions in Pennsylvania or the economic conditions in Michigan, that this is all about skin tone, tribe you belong to, and all that. I think people are kind of fed up, especially independents, with the economic, because I just talked about the economics. What do you think?
Yeah, no, Harris definitely needs to get, there's 3 states that are absolutely critical, right? Pennsylvania, Michigan, even Wisconsin. That's the battleground, right? And there's a few other sprinklings here and there. Our jobs as Republicans right now is to make the DNC spend money they didn't have to spend in other states, right? Let's say New York is going to go red, blue, red, well, red. Florida, they're out of Florida. I know Kamala Harris tried to say last week that she could take over Miami. I'm here to say, not over my dead body.
Yeah,
No way.
No,
But she's trying
not
to,
gonna happen.
look, you can't street fight, not with me. I'm going to, when I become committee woman, my plug, I will make sure that never happens. But that's everyone. I mean, we know what's going on the ground. We know we're paying $1 per egg. That's not cool. And she doesn't understand that. But here's the thing. I think we've chatted about this a lot. People will vote for visuals, and her visuals are pretty good. Not to say she's like super attractive, but you're going to throw on all the graphic work and everything. She comes across, and I've seen her commercials. They're strong, and they have the music and the this and the that. Well, they're good.
That's true. But I like watching SpongeBob too. But I don't think I'm going to vote for him. Just saying.
There are people who are easily swayed by a good commercial.
I was like, I like Patrick, but he's kind of a knucklehead, so I'm not going to vote for him either.
But this is a world of this is a nation of optics. A lot of people only look at the surface of things. They don't look under. People don't realize what kind of prosecutor Kamala Harris was. People will forget how bad the economy was 2 or 3 years ago sometimes because they just see first woman president of color, and man, she's so joyous, and she brings joy. Doesn't she bring so much joy to you every morning?
That's right.
If she doesn't open her
Didn't they
mouth,
have that over the?
Brings me material.
They had some sort of a joyous thing over the concentration camps too, didn't they? Over in.
Oh no!
They are the. Hey, you know what? The Democrat Party is the party of internment camps.
Will make you.
We all know
that.
that.
Free. Anyway, so Angie, I want to ask you a question. So I'm gonna throw you off your game here because I'm gonna ask you for a pledge. Will you pledge once you're a councilwoman? Can you promise that communism will not gain a single inch during your watch in Florida?
Oh, that is an easy pledge. Communism has no place whatsoever in the USA. And that's a problem, right? It's like, and I see it. I mean, we all see it happening, right? It's not a joke that she is for communism. It is scary. Oh, yeah. Because even if you just erase the flowery words, it really is pure communism. And it is. And I have to wonder how much of that is the foreign money coming into her campaign. I mean, and I don't have any facts that support that because I haven't looked at her FEC reports, but I have to tell you that this is not natural. Clearly, she's being controlled. This scares the living daylights out of me. Now I'm just really relying on local government to do their job.
I'm putting you on a spot again, and this time I'm really doing it. So I had a conversation with the Venturas last night, and certain folks who were, let me say, adversaries of you and me both, I think they're foreign funded, and they've been doing shenanigans down in Florida. And I don't want to mention names because we would get sued big time because they got money.
Mm.
But I'm just saying, I think there's a lot of foreign influence that people are trying to throw into the Trump campaign as well. It's just being much more sedate. I mean,
Ooh.
no doubt. No. I'm going to say this. I'm going to go say it on the record because people need to be aware. Just buyer beware, right? What's that phrase? Emptor something canvas. I don't know.
Caveat emptor.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Chris.
Well, I don't
That's why I
know.
pay him the big bucks. He knows
May
these
the
things. But I'm
buyer
just saying.
beware.
I'm just saying because we see it. It's obvious on Kamala. I think it's happening, but it's much more subdued on the Republican side. That's
Yeah, well, it's not that subdued. I mean, I'm seeing reports from the left reporting about it, and I don't know who you're talking about, Tony. I really don't, but I will tell you. I mean, it's so easy to wash money into American campaigns.
Certain people were trying to keep you from going to an event.
I don't know exactly who we're talking about, but I will tell you that look, even I have been approached to do that, and I would never ever do it because I know what the game is, right? But people who are dumb enough, they'll wash money without knowing what's going on, and that's what's happening. All you need is a nonprofit and a super PAC, and you can wash money very, very easily, and it's illegal. That's the problem. It's completely legal to do so.
Oh, look what you have here.
Yeah, well, okay.
OpenSecrets.org has all the information here. And Harris for President, Future Forward USA, American Bridge 21st Century. And interestingly enough, the fourth most, coming $14.14 million coming from the, let's just say the traitors in the Lincoln Project, the establishment Republicans. So the deep state loves Kamala.
Yeah. So how does it? Do you have to have like a criminal record to join the Lincoln Project and belong to Mambla? Is that what it is? The man boy.
Yes.
I mean, it seems like the
National Association of Marlon Brando lookalikes.
Oh boy.
Right.
Or is it that other Nambla?
That's the other one.
That's pretty good.
I think you have to have dual citizenship in both of them. I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
But I don't know these things because I'm not in that crowd. Just saying. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're going to have foreign influence on elections. I mean, we've opened the door to that, given that our technology can be cracked into, given that money can come from all corners of the world. I mean, this is why when I listen to these speeches by politicians, I really have to read between the lines because if you know who's behind them, you would know what they're saying and what they can't say. And what Kamala Harris cannot say is she can't say anything that's truly pro-Israel, right? She can't do it. And then you know where the money's from.
Well, let's hit that real quick because that's so much of what the focus is. And again, this circles back to our discussion. Remember the Jake Sullivan predictive pickle used at the White House? So yeah, let's see what is Jake Sullivan working today? Negative. He's not working today. That's good to know. So there you go. This is an advanced AI, Angie. This thing can tell you anything you need to know about national security and foreign policy.
I bet that pickle's smarter.
It's smarter than Jake Sullivan, that's for sure. Just saying. So, but speaking of that, so everything they're doing now is this wackadoodle equation of trying to maintain some appearance of supporting the Israelis and big Jewish donors because they have them. And why that is, I have no idea. It's like the Jews have been like, Van Jones said that anti-Semitism is now quote unquote marbled in the Democrat Party. Who would belong to a party that's got marbled anti-Semitism? Is it seriously?
No.
And yes, but they want the Arab issue because it's the voters. So how
remember who produced and directed Schindler's List? Steven Spielberg, who's now producing the DNC convention. Are you kidding me? I mean, these guys have to wake up. And they may know the fractures, they may know what's going on. And that's why there's I forget how many thousands of protesters are outside in Chicago today. They know this too. They think they can put the pressure point on Kamala's neck to make her vote a certain way. Look, they dumped the governor of Pennsylvania for the some doobie from Minnesota, right? I mean, this is all pressure, and she's buying into all of this. It's pretty incredible, though, how fractured the Democrats are today. I'm laughing the whole way, but we do have to watch for the cheat, and we have to watch for September 18th. I think that's going to be a critical day, because given the precedence of what has happened in that court and to other Trump players, I'm nervous. I think that could be a real spin, and I know that the Trump team is nervous because you're seeing the cracks of it.
Well, here's something else that you bring up, Angie, and this is very important to both of you here. Angie, you're right. Kamala Harris was installed into this or put into here because as you correctly say that she can be coerced by certain powers into voting. And look, Barack Obama was installed by Ted Kennedy as I know he won the primary fair and square, but he took Hillary Clinton money in 2008 and gave it to Barack Obama, thereby installing him into the presidency because it was a slam dunk for Democrats that year. He went into that presidency owing a hell of a lot of people. She's doing the same thing without even one single primary delegate ever. Okay, she was installed into this candidacy, and if she does win by some kind of miracle, she will owe a lot of people and a lot of the wrong people.
Well, let's end on that point because that's the issue, Chris. She has not received a single vote. And Angie, she's now about to be installed as the Democrats' working democracy. She doesn't have a single vote to be the candidate, right?
I mean, both Kamala Harris and I have 0 votes and 0 primary votes. In fact, maybe tomorrow I'll have more votes than she does. Okay. That is the crazy thing about all of this is that are people not realizing that she did not secure one single vote and she may get to be president of the United States? I mean, really?
It's like a bad episode of House of Cards, right?
But it's like reality. I keep waking up to this. It's not fake, you guys. This is really what's happening. And
for anybody, and you should watch if you don't believe it. They actually, again, looking at Hollywood, the first 3 episodes of House of Cards outlines kind of what happened here, where basically that character Frank Underwood. By the way, FU. Did you notice they picked those initials? No, that was a conscious choice. FU.
Oh wow.
No, it's a very deep show, and so look at that because Frank Underwood becomes president with never being elected. Just saying, same thing. He was the VP. So this is that, and he actually brags about how democracy during the series. So if you want to see how it's done, go look back on House of Cards, and they're following that format. Except they combine the two. They've got VP, the Julia Dreyfus character. Combined with Frank Underwood's Frank. So there you go. It's kind of a wackadoodle mix. So, but there you go. They've played this movie before, Angie. It's just now they're playing it for real.
I mean, it's the most exciting election season I've ever lived through. It is come on. There's a book and a movie in this, right? I mean, come on, you guys. Can we please write this book and the movie?
They already did Veep, but I guess they can have something else here. It'll be a movie, but if Hollywood controls it, it's going to make Kamala Harris look like she actually won the presidency, even if she loses.
That's what I'm afraid of. Look, I think the Trump team should be worried right now. I don't think this is I agree. 30 days ago was a clear win, right?
Or maybe they just won't cheat enough because I don't think the Democrats really want Kamala Harris in there. Could you think about this? Kamala Harris's overall incompetence would set women back in politics 20 years if she's president. You'd never see another female president. They don't care, but moderates do. But you remember, we're only broadcast. These people, both parties know they're only trying to convince maybe 3 to 5% of the nation's population in a few states. That's all they have to do.
Up until 4 weeks ago, Joe Biden was the kindest, most gracious, amazing leader ever in history. And now it's like, who was Joe? Who? What? They have no sense of history or destiny. It's all about whatever they can do to maintain power. That's it. It's all about power. It has nothing to do with being concerned about people. And it's all because they look at us as a resource. It's very Orwellian. And that's why that metaphor of the pills, which pill will you take? You can be a sheep and continue kind of living your own. There you go.
There's Joe.
There's Joe.
I love the
in a resting
with him.
So anyway, we got to go. We could talk about this all day. Angie, thank you for joining us this morning. It's been great. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. Good luck
If-
tomorrow, Angie.
If you can vote legally, go and you're in Angie's district, go vote for Angie.
Yeah. If you're in Miami,
talk more
come
about-
vote for me tomorrow. And Tony, I'm going to order you some yard signs. Okay. I am going to send
come
some
on,
your
Tony.
way.
I just no. I'm gonna. You can do a campaign contribution. I'll send you the PO box. It's on my
Yes.
Facebook. On my. Anyway, so
PO
I gotta go
box.
check it.
What?
And I can guarantee you the Lincoln Project
Yeah.
did not donate to Tony's campaign.
Yeah, I'm
All
sure
right.
that's true.
I
I gotta go check it
gotta
today,
get
as a matter
some
of
super packs. I got to get some super packs ready
No,
for Tony.
it'd be nice. No, I'm a one man show. Really, I've got to do everything myself, which means when you have close friends like Tony LaBianco and my Colonel John Tampone, and it's been a tough summer to take care of everything. So
Yeah.
I am going to get into it. I've got now September, October to really make a run to the finish. So I'll be doing it. But
Good.
yeah, anybody who wants to support me, happy to take their support. And of course, unless you're a Lincoln Project person, don't bother.
Oh.
Right. There you go.
But
And
Angie,
here's
we'll
your
see you again
super
soon.
PAC.
Yes. Oh,
That's right,
there's the
Super
super
Pac
pack.
man.
All right, you
so-
guys.
Take care, Angie. See you
Lots of
soon.
love.
Hey, Angie.
And for the rest of y'all Patriots, again, remember Paul Stone. Paul is our guy that we go to for good advice on the economy, on what's sustainable, and that is the Colonial Metals Group. Go to the banner, check it out, colonialmetalsgroup.com/Ed-Henry/ a lot of slashes there. It sounds very violent, right, Chris? And,
Or a lot of guitar players.
That's right. A lot of, slash 800-805-4034. You will thank us later. You'll thank us now if you go do it now. So anyway, remember, Paul, go check them out. Chris, that was a great show, man. Why these things go so fast? We're actually overtime right now.
You know,
So-
funny thing, every time I do a show with you, it just never seems to, the hour seems to fly by.
It
If we
does
do
fly by pretty
We
quick.
should do a 2-hour show, but that would fly by too.
Well, I've brought that up to the overlord named Ed Henry, and we'll negotiate. I think right now there's so many things up in the air, and obviously we're just trying to get through the summer. So the summer chaos,
That's right.
and Ed's doing God's works. As a matter of fact, I
always is. He
think, although I haven't got contacted by his team yet, I think I'm on with him this evening on N2. So be sure and check out the briefing with Ed on N2 this evening at 6 p.m. You will thank us for that too, because Ed has the best show on N2 by far. I mean, it's not even close. Although don't get me wrong, I love David Harris and I love Rick Leventhal. Great guys, love him. But Ed is by far, the man. Right, Chris?
Not only is Ed the man when it comes to politics, I do want to say he wrote one of my favorite books, 42 Faith, about the great Jackie
Wow.
Robinson. Okay.
Yeah.
And I
There
know
you
I
go.
put him. I know I put him on a show I produced a while ago to talk about this, but this is
Yeah.
I got to read this book at the time. It was a fantastic book. I was always fascinated with the way Branch Rickey brought in Jackie Robinson. And keep in mind, Jackie Robinson was not the first black player in the majors, but he broke the established color barrier when Cap Anson and his team in 1896 would not take the field if there was a black player on the other team. So for decades, from 1896 to I believe it's 47, there were no black players, and bringing in Jackie Robinson opened up a lot of things for everybody, and it was great. But it was a great book, and it's something that if you get a chance to read it, please do out there.
Yeah, go check it out. And I'm just chatting with the folks. Yes, I know. Thank you, Loves Christ. I appreciate it. Thank you. That eye candy thing is sticking, so to speak, even though it did start in Afghanistan.
They told me
but
I should wear a
do
paper
appreciate it.
bag.
No, at least you're not toe cheese. Better to have seriously to think of the upside. It's like, well, it could be worse.
Well.
So anyway, and yes, I'll talk to the master and overlord of the show, Ed, again about the 2-hour thing. I know you all want 2 hours. We could easily do 2 hours. You can see we could do 2 hours. But, well, no, I mean we could. We bring in guests who people love, and we have a lively conversation, right? I mean, it's fun.
That's right. And we could
So-
bring George in more often.
George has been in the chat. Hey, George, we're going to have you on soon. So, but Angie, we wanted to have Angie kind of talk through things today. So anyway, we got to go.
Yes.
I got to get ready for Newsmax. I'm on Newsmax at 1:15 today, and I think with Ed at 6 something tonight. We love you all. Thank you for being here. It's always fun, right, Chris?
Yes, and thank you for being with us this whole time. We'll see you tomorrow. We got some good stuff happening too. Karen's with us, and so is Paul.
Karen, and we're going to figure out something for Wednesday. So we're going to have
Yeah, we have a
special
cunning
things for
plan.
Wednesday. Right. And then we're going to have some more insights from Jake Sullivan's AI. Just
Oh.
saying, well, you can never tell what Jake Sullivan's pickle's going to say.
Well, you know what Jake
That
Sullivan's
sounds
going to say?
that sounds bad.
Well,
That
you know what
sounds
Jake
really
Sullivan's
bad.
going to say, right?
Yeah.
Meep, meep,
What?
meep, 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 meep.
He
Beacon.
will.
That's your beacon.
All right.
There we go.
That's right. Well, we'll see you then. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9. Take care.